Welcome to Parlay Power Hour for October 27, 2021. This is the Electric Factory. I am your host, Tanner Kern. I'm joined by my co-host, G-Money Grant Mitchell. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Tanner. It's a wonderful morning. It's beautiful weather down here. How is it up there?
It's like a hurricane or a nor'easter. I didn't even know you could have a nor'easter not winter season, but you can have a nor'easter in a not winter season. It's like raining, it's windy. It's kind of miserable. But you know what? A lot of Boston sports action tonight. It's going to be a good day for the Bees, good day for the Celtics.
Yeah, bad weather in Boston. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it normally bad up there?
No, it's normally beautiful, G-Money. This is the greatest city in the world. Better than the DMV.
The DMV isn't a city. That's a tri-state area.
Better than the DMV.
Yeah, whatever.
It's better than
the players playing for Boston probably came from the DMV.
No, they didn't. I don't know where they're from, but you know what? They're in Boston. They're Boston born and raised now if they play in the Garden. So I was going down to I was on the tee last night. I don't know, 2 nights ago, and there was a Harry Styles concert. Did I talk about this the other day?
Yeah.
I did. I'm still blown away. Sports are the Celtics home tonight?
The Celtics are not.
They're not.
Or yes, they are.
They
yes,
are.
They are.
Okay, good. Because we need sports back at the Garden. I can't take these people dressing up like clowns going to watch Harry Styles at TD Garden. That's not okay. We need sports back at the Garden. TD Garden's meant for sports. Bruins, Celtics, and maybe some wrestling. Also, AEW wrestling. Do you follow that, G-Money?
Of course.
You follow AEW?
Yeah.
That's in Boston tonight, too. It's at the BU hockey rink, so that should be fun. I'm not going, but tickets were too expensive, but AEW.
Was there anyone at the Harry Styles concert walking around like that?
No. Well, are you trying to talk about how girls wear jerseys?
Yeah.
All right. No, so I don't have my baseball jersey. No, girls can't wear hockey jerseys like that, but they can wear baseball jerseys like that. So anyways, no, it was literally painted clown faces. These girls must have been very cold too. They must have been freezing their ass off too. It was crop tops and painted faces, and they were singing and stuff too. It was really weird. It was an odd time for me. I was like, man, I don't know. How can you not love sports? Because I don't love that. That's what I was saying. All right, we got a little comment in here. Xavier Daniel, let's go Braves. Yeah, let's go Braves. Let's go Braves. Hey, everyone's getting mad at me, G-Money, the other night for saying the Astros are going to win in 6 games. Everyone's getting mad. You know what, though? I want the Braves to win. I'm still an American. I don't want the Astros to win, but I think I don't want the Astros to win, but I think they're going to win.
Did you see the map of which team every state is rooting for?
Yeah, everyone's rooting for Atlanta, right?
Well, everyone's rooting for Atlanta except for Texas and Delaware. Delaware is rooting for the Astros. That one didn't make sense to me.
Nah, Delaware. Nobody cares about Delaware. All right, they're freezing because they have no clothes on. Yes, Gloria, they are freezing. Harry Styles. I didn't even know. Wasn't Harry Styles in One Direction?
Yeah,
he was in one. Now he's on his own. But why? It's like a cult. It was literally like a cult.
Yeah, I mean the One Direction fans. When I guess not even bands, but just groups split up. Sometimes you pick your allegiance and you go with them. The One Direction fans still love all of them. Harry, Niles, Zayn. I think there's another one. I don't know his name, but yeah, they all still love them.
They had a few bangers. I think we were in high school, right? When they were good. I don't know. But they had a few bangers, like that's what makes you beautiful.
I was just thinking of that in my head.
All right, I can't talk about this. We got to talk about sports. All right, FanDuel, $1,000 risk-free bet. Get into it right now. Links in the description below. You're gonna love it. FanDuel's best sports book in the business. I bet on hockey last night, NBA, NHL, hockey, brain fart, hockey, basketball, baseball. I did it all last night on FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm going to bet the NFL on there this weekend as well. So make sure you check that out, guys. Link in the description below. This is the best hour of your day. If you don't think it's the best hour of your day, stop watching right now. All right, Grant, Wizards, Celtics. The star power in this game is insane tonight. Over 224. Could not agree more. Also got the Celtics spread, I think, -4.5.
Yeah, you're taking the Celtics spread? Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm riding with Celtics spread, but I'm not putting it on the show.
Gotcha. Yeah, so, I mean, starting with what you said, the star power in this game, you've got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Bradley Beal, 3 legit scorers. I mean, that's what they're there to do first and foremost. Then you've got a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie in his first season with the Washington Wizards. He's averaging 19 a game while still averaging 7 assists, so that's very impressive. Kyle Kuzma, KCP, we know they love to get up shots from the perimeter. You've got Dennis Schroeder, another former Laker on the Celtics. He hit a huge three near the end of the game against the Hornets to send it into overtime. And of course, they ended up pulling away. So there are a lot of guys that on the court whose job is primarily just to score. So for the over to only be at what it is, I think that's kind of I don't want to say insulting because it's not it's not like a spread. It's not saying one team's going to win or lose, but I think it just sets this bet up very well to go over. The only cause for concern I have is that the Celtics did have that overtime against the Hornets, and they might come out a little flat. But if the Wizards come out on it, I think that's going to make the Celtics snap into life. And I see this game hitting near 240 in total points.
So I will say the Celtics have only been home once this season. I think the Garden will be rocking tonight again because the Harry Styles concert was there. They're going to feed off that. Sports are back in Boston. Boston's meant for sports, obviously. Jason Tatum's going to have a huge game. He's shooting amazing from the field right now. I mean, he was 50% in his last game. Every time he shoots, I feel like it goes in the net.
I have a love-hate relationship with Jason Tatum. Ever since he was at Duke, I would say, geez, this guy is so polished and refined and he looks so confident. But I feel like he looks for the most difficult shots that he can. He loves a step back, half spin, fade away in double coverage. I mean, it's weird because I get the feeling when he shoots it. I get that feeling too. You know when players are good if they shoot it and you think, oh, that's going in. Jason Tatum is one of those guys, but he also just has horrendous shot selection. So, I mean, you thought he might change it by now. He's been in the league for a few years. It hasn't changed, so maybe this is just who he is. I think he could average even more points if he was a little smarter.
All right. Well, I like this going over. Bottom line is star power is going to take this game over at the Garden tonight. Hammer the over. If G-Money says hammer the over, hammer the over. Just don't hammer the Celtics. Or not the Celtics. Don't hammer the Knicks last night. No, the Sixers. You said Sixers last night. I took that bet. That was on you. That's on you, G.
Yeah, the Knicks had a great game. There's 82 of them. Can't win them all.
How'd the rest of that parlay do, though?
I hit 4 out of my 5. That was the one I missed.
Gosh. Yeah, because I took that same parlay, too. And after I saw that score, I was like, I'm not even looking at this anymore. All right. Hello, Alex Correa is my manager. Saeed doesn't know when to stop. Like, I don't understand Saeed at all. Like, Saeed, we beat you. We were one of the last 4 teams remaining in baseball this season. Hello, Alex. Alex Correa is my manager. He's the best manager in the business. How about Booney? You guys hate Booney. You love Booney. No defense. Xavier Daniel has a question for you, Grant. Is there any defense in the Wizards and the Celtics game tonight?
Not much of it. Wizards just don't play defense. They really never have. Celtics used to pride themselves on defense when they had Al Horford is kind of their main guy when Horford was an all-star. But as Brad Stevens, his tenure went on, and now that he's not even there anymore, that identity has kind of gone away. The Celtics are trying to play a more explosive, attractive brand of basketball. They've got a few defensive players like Marcus Smart. Even a guy like Grant Williams, I guess you would classify as a defender, even though he's not great on the ball. But I don't think it's going to matter.
All right, yeah, no defense. Hammer the over. Hello, Alex Core is my man. Saeed, I can't get over Saeed. Like, okay, so as soon as Saeed building up to that whole Yankees Red Sox wild card game, he was like, oh my God, go Yankees, go Yankees. We're gonna win, we're gonna win, we're gonna win. Then the Red Sox embarrassed the Yankees at Fenway Park, right? Saeed goes away for months. He disappears, and now he's coming back. He's a friend of the program now. So I don't know what to expect from Saeed. Hello, Alex Core is my manager, Saeed. And you know what? We'll be in the World Series next year. That's what I think. All right, let's talk some more basketball here. I got the Heat +4 versus the Nets tonight. We look at this game. It's going to be a good one. Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler is stealing the show right now, but you also got Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and Markieff Morris playing their roles perfectly. That's what they need tonight. They need to support for Jimmy Butler for them to cover. Now we look at the Brooklyn Nets. I think, Grant, and now you were telling me you were saying that this isn't true, but I think James Harden's coming in out of shape a little bit, and that's what I've been hearing on the radio a lot. I think he's coming out of shape. I know you say he's been fatter, but it's still affecting his play. It's still affecting the Brooklyn Nets.
I don't think he's coming in out of shape. I think if anything, it's just a lack of confidence, which he admitted after one of their losses this season. I think it was after the I think it was a couple games ago when they dropped and Harden said, I'm still trying to get my confidence out there. And that's because he suffered the first real injury. I think he had a facial injury, but that doesn't count in basketball. He had that hamstring injury really plagued him during the playoffs. He was wearing 4 compression sleeves during the playoffs, trying to at least limp around out there. And so he said, he's just trying to get his confidence back in his hamstring. Tanner, you played football. I'm sure you've had a pulled hamstring at some point. You know what that's like. Your hamstring is probably the most important muscle in your leg for an athlete. And when it goes, it takes a long time to get the confidence that it's back. So I don't think his weight or anything has anything to do with that. I just think it's that confidence that he has in his hamstring. And I also think the rule change has affected him. You can't go seeking fouls anymore, and that was a huge part of his game. People used to defend him with their hands held together behind their back. Sometimes they would stand behind him, and that's the first time that's ever happened in NBA history because they were so afraid of him drawing fouls. So, when there's a huge paradigm shift in the rules, it's not totally unexpected that a player who thrived in one rule set might struggle transitioning to the new one. So, I think the Nets are going to struggle for now. That's why I do really like this pick of yours, but I think they'll be fine sooner than later.
Well, just what I've seen from him, definitely not driving to the basket as much this year, which is a problem because, like you said, that's his game. Now, tonight, I wrote an article on the American League, or I wrote an article on the National League Championship Series with Eddie Rosario and how he delivered there and how he was going to have to do the same thing in the World Series for them to really become, to have a chance to beat the Astros. He played well last night, but this is kind of a comparison to this game. Jimmy Butler needs to steal the show against the Orlando Magic, 36 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He needs to have another one of those nights tonight to really, I think, get past the Nets and cover here. But with Brooklyn, you look at James Harden, you look at Kevin Durant, they're going to be tough to stop. I still think there's a cover here for the Heat. And you know what? This game's in New York, so it's going to be a little tougher for them. But I like them to cover +4. I think this comes down to the wire. It could be an overtime game, and Jimmy Butler finishes them off late.
Yeah, I like that. If there's one team that still prides itself in defense, it's the Miami Heat with Jimmy, Bam, Kyle Lowry, Keith Morris. I think this is a good pick.
There we go. Love it. All right, so let's keep moving here. You want to go lock or wrist first?
You take it away. You're the host.
All right, we'll go lock. You talk about the over in this game a little bit because I got the Bees on the wrist pick next. So
yeah, so Tanner and I, obviously it's the World Series. We wanted to throw a pick in here. We kind of had I don't know if we'd had a difference in opinion, but we both acknowledge this game could end up going either way. Braves are incredibly hot, but the Astros, as Tanner loves to say, the Astros aren't going to roll over and give up, which is very true. But one thing that we do think is going to happen is we think there's going to be some runs scored in this game. I mean, that's how the teams have cut their teeth for the most part in this postseason. The Astros especially, we know, are offensive dominant, and they're not going to score 2 runs again, like it or not. 6 from the Braves, that would obviously help this over a lot. Even if they only score 4, it's safe to say the Astros are going to score probably at least 4. And, of course, that takes us into extras. Some team's going to have to score, and we'd go over 8.5. I know we've got a pretty decent matchup here. You've got Max Fried and Jose Urquidy. But even if it's a little slow at the start, pretty much what we've seen from both of these teams is usually they hit a home run, they open the game up, and it goes from there. I think we see something similar to that, Tanner. I think we finish probably somewhere around a 7-5, 7-4 ball game.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I do believe the Astros are going to win this game because when I was I'm a Red Sox fan, but when the Red Sox playing the Astros, everyone's saying, "Oh, the Red Sox got this, Red Sox got this." No, they don't. Like, yes, they have a chance to win the series, but don't think the Astros are going to roll over and die. That's not in their repertoire. That's not in their what's the word? That's not in their mindset, right?
It's not their MO.
That's not their MO. They're going to come out. They're going to fight. We got some comments here. Braves in 6. Saeed commented that on my Instagram yesterday.
I'm with Saeed.
See, I mean, I think Houston in 6 or 7 now, but we'll see how they play tonight. Trae Young can still draw those fouls. Go Hawks. Cool.
To less effectiveness, but he still can. Harden is definitely struggling the most right now.
Yep. Because guess why?
Why is that, Tanner?
He's out of shape.
No, you don't. Listen, James Harden might be the most incredible athlete of all time. In between games when they're on road trips, maybe you have one day off, he flies to Vegas or Atlanta and parties with Lil Baby and all the other rappers. Like this man spends his off day allegedly getting drunk, and maybe there are other indulgences at these parties that I don't know if he partakes in or not, but there's a lot of stuff out there that could derail any athlete, and he's been an MVP candidate for 5+ years. So James Harden might be the best athlete of all time.
All right, we can't say, okay, we can't make the comparison and say, oh, okay, he parties hard, so and he plays well, so he's the best athlete of all time. Listen, he's not driving the hoop because he's partying too much with little baby. I don't even know. He's partying too much. All right, Grant, make sure he doesn't drive to the hoop tonight. So Jimmy Butler and the Heat cover the spread +4. All right, Bruins money line, huge tilt tonight down in Florida. Huge tilt, G Money. You ready for this?
But well, before you start, I just have to throw this in there.
What?
You pick the Red Sox money line pretty much every day. We can't get into you picking the Bruins money line every day. This has to be a good reason why.
This is a risk bet, G Money. Do I think the Bees are going to win? I sure hope the Bees are going to win. Would I put my house on the Bees to win? No, I wouldn't. It's a risk bet. It's FanDuel risk-free bet. We're getting the money back, okay? Listen, this is going to be a tough game. Florida Panthers are 6-0, but we got a huge tilt tonight. Bottom line is, in this game, pucks on net. Pucks on net, pucks on net, pucks on net. We got to outshoot the Florida Panthers tonight. They have been exceptional on defense. They've been really, really good on offense. Sam Bennett scoring goals. Jonathan Huberdeau scoring a lot of goals right now. But we got Brad Marchand. We got a chance to win. Our golden line's got to be exceptional tonight. And we really got to play good defense. And that's where I'm kind of concerned. I don't know who's going to get the start in Golden Knight, whether it's Jeremy Swayman or Linus Ullmark. But we look at Ullmark, he's been fantastic, 2-0, allowing 2 goals per game. That's the kind of performance we need tonight. And again, pucks on net. We got to score 4 or 5 goals to win at least. Now, if you want to get a safe bet, like a safe parlay bet, I would go Bruins +1.5 here, but it's also like -190 odds. So you got to factor that into the equation. But the Panthers just played the Arizona Coyotes, who could be one of the worst teams in hockey. They probably are the worst team in hockey, honestly. They're being outscored by a lot of goals right now. And they were +2.5. That's how you know a team's bad in hockey, if they're +2.5 on the puck line. And I'm like, this is too good to resist, even against a team like the Florida Panthers. And the Coyotes still covered it. So if the Coyotes can cover +2.5, and they actually did outshoot the Panthers in, I believe, the third period in that game, I believe the Bruins can get the job done tonight. But we need Pasternak, we need Marchand, we need all these dudes to deliver tonight. Hell, we might need a little luck tonight too. But you know what? The Bees get the job done. They're rolling. They're 3-1. We're a good hockey team. We got to beat an undefeated 6-0 hockey team.
Tanner, I totally agree with your premise there. This game it's all about pucks on net. The Florida Panthers have only had one team score 3 or more goals in their last 5 games, and it was 3 goals. It was their most recent game against the Coyotes, which they won 5-3. Meanwhile, the Bruins have scored at least 3. Did I say 3 runs?
Nice.
Okay. I had baseball on the brain. As the leaf blower guy comes by, can't go a show without him. But the Bruins have scored at least 3 goals in every game they've played so far. So if they can keep their offense humming at the level that it is, then, that puts the Panthers in territory they're not familiar with. Obviously, they're a good team, so, that alone won't be enough to beat them, but it should give them at least a leg up compared to the other teams they've faced thus far. So with the positive odds, I know it's kind of busting your balls, but I think this one could work out as well.
Yeah, I mean, +120 is pretty respectable for a road. I mean, because in hockey, you're always going to have that home team's always going to be favored unless they have a major issue, right? +120, I think, is pretty good. And I will say, I think my man Charlie Coyle does something tonight. I think he's the X factor tonight. I think Charlie McAvoy delivers. He might score a goal as well. So that's what we need. We need a lot of luck tonight, but I think it happens. Bruins money line, huge tilt down in Florida. All right, G Money. That's the show. That was an electric show. A little basketball talk. A little hockey talk, a little baseball talk.
We covered the bases.
Now, hey, Maction tomorrow night, too. A little Thursday night Maction. Can't beat that.
Thursday night Maction. I don't understand why you love the Maction so much. Do you just like making fun of these kids having to play on Tuesdays?
No. Well, Thursday's not a bad night to play. So Thursday's not a bad
Thursday,
night.
Listen, did you ever play a Thursday game? Because I would be more hyped for a Thursday game than a Friday or a Saturday.
No, I played. So in college, I played a Friday night, like one Friday, and then a couple Saturday, and then every Saturday, obviously. Never played like a Wednesday or a Tuesday. They only let the MAC play on Wednesdays nights. And then high school, I played on Thursday. I think I played on a Wednesday in high school once, just because like weather, they had to move it back, and then obviously Friday and Saturdays.
My favorite part of being an athlete in high school was when you got to leave class early. And did this ever happen to you? You would leave class early and everybody would say, "Hey, where are you going?" It's like, "Oh man, I got a meet or I got a game. We got to go." and then you just go meet up with your friends. I don't know if you used to do this, but I used to tell my teacher like an hour before I was actually supposed to leave, and then just go meet up with my friends and hang out. Do typical high school stuff.
Well, so we actually had we got to leave early. I remember one time we played like the city schools, like you got to play at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon because they don't let them play under the lights. So we actually had to leave at like 10 in the morning. Like we went to class for like one period and then left. But we actually had like a legit thing. Like we had meetings and we had food and we had film and all that stuff where it wasn't like cross country G money where we could just sneak out and go run a race.
Well, track meets, a lot of them we would usually leave if it was so everybody runs at least 3 meets, and those are on Wednesdays, but then they're called invitationals. I know this, this is more for the audience. They're weekend meets, Friday, Saturday, usually called invitationals, sometimes Thursday, Friday, where you take a select group of people. And then we would usually always leave somewhere between 12 and noon for those. The earliest I ever left was 4:30. We met in my school parking lot and left at 4:30 a.m.
Yikes. Yeah, those when I was coaching track, those meets are long. They're all day. They're kind of excruciating. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's for the kids. We're for the kids, G-Money. All right, final thoughts. We're not talking track. We're done talking about our high school and collegiate athletic careers. We're done talking about Harry Styles, Clown Colt. All right. Final thoughts. What do you got for me?
My final thought, I've got to talk about my Lakers. Got a huge win last night. Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis both went for 30-point double-doubles. Russell Westbrook was an assist off a triple-double. One thing we saw, I don't think it's fair to judge anything that we learned in totality because LeBron did not play. And obviously LeBron is going to be playing throughout the rest of the season and with the playoffs. That's why Westbrook was brought there to win a championship. But I will say he looked, sensational last night, which was good to see because he'd been struggling for points and confidence in the first couple games. And I also think it's important to note that we did end up winning this game. Normally when LeBron doesn't play, his teams don't win. And the fact that Westbrook was able to be there, put down a huge display and win the game, I think it starts to validate why he was brought in. Now we just need to assimilate him back into the lineup with LeBron, and the Lakers will be good. But still too early to judge anything. Got to give this team at least a month or two before we can really start to determine whether or not they're championship caliber.
So I'll actually talk about the Lakers for my final thoughts after I tell Saeed that Yankee 2022 champions. Yes, they will be the champions of last place in the American League East, Saeed. So my final thought is I was watching the Lakers game last night, and I was watching clips of it on Twitter, at least during the World Series, I will say that. And LeBron was doing a great job coaching from the sidelines. He was very into the game. It was good to see. That's what the team needed. LeBron's a good teammate. I don't love LeBron, but I think he is a very good teammate.
Yeah, what is there to love about a guy who was raised without a father and had more expectations than anyone in human history, and he somehow exceeded them, and now he's going to be the all-time leading scorer, and he's already got the minutes record and the playoff points record, and he's a billionaire business mogul with his own show, and he opened a school to get underprivileged kids through, and
blah, blah, blah. All right, cry me a river, G-Money. All right, here's what I think. All right. There was a clip. I was listening to NBA radio this morning. They were talking about Squid Games on Netflix. Do you hear the story about LeBron?
Yeah. Listen, go ahead. I'll give you my thoughts after.
They were saying Squid Games on Netflix, and LeBron's was mad about the ending of season 1, and the director Hang Bang Kim or whatever, I forget what his name was. And he went up to LeBron. He was he said,
he tweeted him.
You tweeted him did you think Space Jam 2 was good or something like that?
No. That's what the guys talking about the show said. What the director said was that this is my show and this is how I wanted it to end. If he didn't like it, maybe he should create his own show and then he can write his own ending that he likes.
But what was the tweet about?
There was nothing about Space Jam. That was what your guys were talking about.
Someone said that. The director said that to him.
If he did, I didn't see it. The only tweet I saw was you can write your own show and end it how you want.
The director said, "Did you think Space Jam 2 was good?" That's how it went.
You talk. I'm pulling this up because I didn't see this, and I feel like I would have.
I don't have anything to talk about anymore. I'm good. Space Jam. That's what.
Well, have you seen Squid Games?
No, I haven't watched it. That's what Brian Scalabrine said on NBA radio this morning. He was like, "Did you think Space Jam 2 was good?" That's what the director said.
Okay, the director said, "Have you seen Space Jam 2? If he has his own ending, maybe he can make his own sequel."
Okay, so have you seen Space Jam 2? Like, he insinuated that it sucked.
Have you seen Space Jam 2? LeBron James is cool and can say what he wants. I respect that. I'm very thankful he watched the whole series, but I wouldn't change my ending. That's my ending.
Space Jam 2 sucked, by the way.
That director's he's got to pick. Are you going to be aggressive and say, "Have you seen Space Jam 2?" Or are you going to say LeBron is a great guy? Come on, director.
Have you seen Space Jam 2? It wasn't a very good movie.
I haven't, because I knew it wasn't for me. It's for kids.
It wasn't a good movie.
I mean, okay.
Saeed's coming in this Sunday. Brady versus Jameis. Have been waiting for this game over a year. Definitely, we are winning it.
No. Let me jump in. You didn't even know Jameis was starting 2 months ago.
Wait, is Saeed going with the Saeed? Saeed is literally changing his profile picture mid show. Saeed, man, what do you?
This picture is hilarious, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Sunday, Brady versus Jameis. Have been waiting for this game over a year. Definitely, we are winning. Saeed, you're not winning this game. The Buccaneers will cover -5 about 15 times in this game. Jameis Winston will do something stupid, and the Buccaneers will roll the victory. That's my take on it. We're not even going to talk about this game because it's one of those games that just doesn't matter because we already know what the result is. We don't have to play it. All right, G-Money. I can't take Saeed changes damn pictures anymore. All right, one thumb. Let's go. One thumb, one finger, one pinky, all love. That's for Jameis, isn't it?
What? No, Jameis was. It tastes like a W.
Saeed, Tom Brady going to be eating that W this weekend. That was Parlay Power Hour for October 27, 2021. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of The Electric Factor.